One, two, three, the lawn feed.
Welcome to another episode of the Lawn Feed Podcast. My name is Chris from Ope. It's Mo Time, and alongside me is Solo. Tonight we got Andrew from The Dead Bod Lawn. What's up, dude?
We're here, and Vince isn't. It's a good night.
I see what you did there. I don't know. I don't think he actually did anything, but yeah, Vince is off tonight. He texted us basically saying, "I'm going to bed," and which means he's had a week. Weather. Yeah, a little under
He's
the
not
weather.
feeling the greatest. We'll let him have this one.
It's that time of year. So, got the duo tonight. Excited to kind of come back. We've been all over the place, feels like, at least. But we've got another cool episode. No pun intended, because things are cooling down in our season, which is a good thing for really, I think, a lot of us. But then also our grass too, because it really likes the cool weather heading on in there. But a popular question that we have gotten asked in our inboxes is when to stop the lawn season. So we're going to kind of go through when to know when to wind everything down and what to look for, because as you can probably expect with anything in grass, things are not always as black and white, and they do not follow the calendar. So we will tell you what to look for, so you know the answer to that question, so you can do it properly for the most part. But before we get to that, we got some friends to thank.
Yeah, hopefully everybody had great success with their renovation projects and seeding projects this year. And hopefully you went with our friends over at Twin City Seed, and we want to thank them for powering this episode and season of the Lawn Feed Podcast. Twin City Seed offers elite quality and custom blends of grass seed for homeowners, turf professionals, and more. Home of blends like Resilience 2, Blue Resilience, Fielder's Choice, and of course that After Dark series that sells like hotcakes. I know a lot of you got that this year. Good for you. Great way to have that deep, dark color in your lawn. Shipping to all 50 states. Check them out at twincityseed.com. And be sure to check the banner at the top of the webpage for current specials and offers, along with codes for free shipping for your next seeding project. And if there's no code better than 10% off, Lawn Feed 10. Always good for 10% off. So check
Dormant season, seeding season, whatever it is. I did a post on that today, actually.
Yep. I don't think I liked it yet. I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, well, I know it's tough to kind of accept the fact that it's going to start snowing. It snowed in Montana, like in a non-elevated part of Montana this past week, and I'm like, it's here.
I know. We were just up in the Rockies last week, and my wife was telling me how they got snow up in Denver.
I mean,
and
that's a mountain, so
maybe but it's happening. But when I was there, it was 60s.
Yeah.
So
Denver's weird, man, because it's like it'll dump 1.5 feet of snow and it'll be gone in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's close to the sun. Apparently, I don't know how any of that works, but because we live in the
elevation
Midwest
and
and it's flat as shit down here. So, yeah. But before we get going on this stuff, you guys have been sending us all sorts of before and afters on your projects that you guys have done. We're trying to post them as we can find them. Keep sending us those, because they're like legit. You guys are kicking ass and taking names in your renovations, whether they're partial or overseeds or completely, full blown renovations. I've seen that. We just posted one yesterday with like a full blown bare soil renovation, and it turned
killed
out
off and everything. Yeah,
awesome. So keep, and I don't have it in front of me, of course, but keep sending us all of those. We've gotten them from all around the country, which is really cool. Not only to get to see your, for us to post it and all that stuff, but it's really humbling for us to see what we're doing actually out there. We don't get to see a whole bunch of that stuff. So send it on over. It's really fun for us to see and, get all the feel goods. Right. So,
and if you guys want to see them, or send them to us, go to the Lawn Feed's Instagram or our Facebook page. That's where they're at. If you want to check out what we're talking about.
We have a website?
Huh?
We have a website?
What did I say?
I don't know. I'm just asking. We have a website.
Oh yeah, thelawnfeed.com. And that can direct you to everything too. But these before and afters are being posted on our social media, and just kind of telling the story of what everybody did and what grass seed they used and whatnot. And so yeah, check out our Instagram. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Same thing with Facebook. We're on the old Tiki-Taki as well. So
the Tiki-Taki.
Yeah, buddy.
Tiki-Taki. Let's get into some dad's wins and losses.
Chris, hey, well, don't you have something important to talk about?
I suppose I do. It is October at the end of the day. I'm running a Optober. I guess and it's not a celebration, but it's what it means is more important to that. I appreciate you letting me get that in. Optober. I've rebranded October to Optober because why not? Uh, and dedicating the whole entire month to funding as many dollars as humanly possible to metastatic breast cancer research. And it this is the fourth annual Optober that we've done, where I turn my entire store at opensmowtime.com. So anything purchased over there, I'm donating 100% of every dollar, every penny, and it'll go to a nonprofit organization that also donates 100% of their fundraising dollars received directly to the research for metastatic breast cancer. And I've got my whole story on my website. You can go see it. Maybe we can try to link it down below for those watching. But I'm affected by it directly. My mother-in-law passed away from metastatic breast cancer in 2015. My wife got diagnosed with breast cancer in 2000, and same year I started the channel, which would have been 2022. And had multiple other family members impacted by breast cancer as you did, and as probably everybody else listening to this. And the funding, there's just not enough to the thing that ultimately kills every person that dies from breast cancer. Metastatic breast cancer is responsible for all of that. Yet the funding, only 2 to 5% of that goes towards metastatic breast cancer and its research, which kind of ass backwards if you ask me. So I heard that, wanted to do something about it, and got teamed up with a nonprofit out in my neck of the woods. It's a national nonprofit, but they're the only organization that gives 100% of all of their fundraising dollars directly to the research of MBC and stage 4 breast cancer. So if you can, go support by purchasing anything in my store. And in return, you're going to receive the cool season starter pack, 70 plus pages of it, through the end of October. Purchase anything, and you get that in return. It's as simple as that. So if you can, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, that's that. So opensmowtime.com /Optober. Go check it out. So
Awesome.
yeah, dude. Try to. It's a little slice of the puzzle, but we'll try to figure that out as time goes on. But a lot of new drops, a lot of new apparel, and we'll go check it out. But I think we have some dad's wins and losses to talk about. Should we fire that thing off?
Absolutely.
A lawn feed tradition where we tap into who we are at heart. Dads! This is Dad's Wins and Losses, where we tap into our inner dad bod father figures and highlight some of the recent wins we've experienced as parents, and of course, vent about the embarrassing losses we take each and every day as dads.
I love you, Daddy.
Dad's Wins and Losses is brought to you by our friends over at Big League Lawns. Transform your lawn into a visual masterpiece with the Checkmate lawn striping system. Effortlessly create stunning professional grade stripes to add depth and dimension to your yard. Head over to bigleaguelawns.com to get yours and score a discount with our exclusive promo code GRASS15 to get 15% off your entire order. That's a big one. Andrew, Dad's wins and losses. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I was going to throw it to Vince, but yeah.
Not here.
So both my wins and loss, I have one win, one loss. They're both going to come from today.
Recent, fresh.
Freshies, right? This morning, just getting ready for school. I work most days of the week. There's like 1 or 2 days a week that I can help in the morning. And I just want to say, God bless all you parents that get your kids off to school in the morning, get them up, get them dressed, get them their lunches, make sure their stuff's in their backpack, and then get them off to school. Because today was an absolute chore. And I had the privilege of doing it all, waking them up. My wife was there too, but I think on the days that I'm home and able to help, she just kind of is like, here's your guys' clothes. Dad's going to take care of the rest, which I'm perfectly fine with. It makes me really, respect and appreciate all these other days that I'm already at work. Because this morning I had one kid that was claiming his legs hurt. He couldn't walk. He couldn't do anything.
No.
Yeah.
Paralyzed.
I'm like, we gave him some Motrin before we sent him to school, because we were like, he has been growing. And sometimes when you grow fast, like, you can have those aches and pains in your legs. So, sent him off to school with that. Luckily, halfway through the day, he was healed. Praise the Lord. He was healed. He played. Well, I'll get back. That's the other parts of the win. I'm not going to get into that. He was fine. My daughter just like literally was whining and cried. We laid on the couch, wouldn't eat her breakfast, wouldn't get dressed, just complaining after complaining. I'm walking her into school. She found something else to complain about. I turned to her and I said, "You're all out of complaints today.
You've hit your quota.
Like, yeah, you literally hit your quota like 8 complaints ago."
And it is 6:52 in the morning.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And, like on the days that I don't work, because I work 10-hour days, I work longer days, as you know, Chris, but like I would be nice to sleep in a little. I get to sleep in like 20 minutes, I guess, on these days, but it's just like, I don't want to be up either. Like, this is not fun for me as well.
Right.
Can we just like make this a little more enjoyable, like more tolerable? That's all I ask. So I just want to give a huge shout out to all you moms, all you dads that handle that in the mornings. Bravo to you. It's tough.
It's about the one thing I can do at the house.
Yeah.
Is get the kids up. My wife is a rock star at everything else, but there's some mornings where it
it's the start of the day and the end of the day that's the hardest.
It's
like
the mornings.
bedtime can be really difficult too. I feel like like that's kind of like my biggest complaint, because I do that every night, like the bedtime thing. But mornings, yeah, they're a different beast. So God bless y'all. So that's my loss. My win is I was kind of getting into the point where I was saying my son was healed miraculously and he went to hockey practice tonight. And we're 3 weeks into a hockey season for U6 hockey. And yours truly here got roped into helping coach. And so
that's the best, dude.
We got like 32 kids under the age of 6, or under the age of 7. And there's about usually 5 or 6 coaches out there, and you're just running, little sections and drills in these different areas of the ice. But going into it, I was just like, I don't want to be doing this. I'd rather just go to the rink, watch my kid from through the glass, get him off the ice and go home. And I used to play hockey, and I haven't played in years. I haven't really skated much. And, the more I do it, the more I'm kind of getting into it, and it's a lot of fun. And so I'm going to call that a win. My son enjoys me being out there, and he's really having a good time. And yeah, so
that's awesome, man.
You do things for your kids, even though you don't want to do them, and they end up being something that's a positive to you. So step outside your comfort zone and just show up. Just show up for your kids. So yeah, I know you coach soccer, so you kind of know the same thing. But
yeah, pro tip: don't get into any kerfuffles with the ref.
Yeah. I think people heard about that on a prior episode. You and your lack of restraint, I guess you would.
And then you get asked again, which is to coach again in this next season. So
did you really?
It's all good. We're all good.
You got the call, huh? Good for you.
We're all good. So that's fun though. You got to coach your kids, man. You got to coach your kids, and
at least to a certain age. Like I don't want to do it like when it gets super competitive and gets in the nitty gritty of like learning systems and all that stuff. Like I know it well enough. But at that point, I'd rather have somebody that really knows it and wants to do it. And then I can just be the dad that, like, the next day says, "Hey, let's talk about this," or watch some hockey together and talk about stuff. Like, I don't know if I want to be that coach and be that involved at a competitive level.
And over by us, it's like, depending on the sport, I think this is for most sports, like you can't have a parent as a coach. Because
really?
Get into like the paid coaches realm or whatever. And it's like you 12 and up, you 13 and up, maybe it starts at you 14, I think, maybe for soccer, but like you 15, you 13, can't remember. It's you something in the teens. But like you can't have any parent coaches that aren't on like the payroll or whatever it would be, right?
So it's all just like people that are not associated with any of the players, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Like
but then there's like some weird, like there has to be some overlap. Like there has to be with like someone from an older sibling or something of that nature, and like the younger
Sure.
sibling comes through and they just happen to be there. Like there's got to be
Yeah.
some overlap where there has to be some decisions made.
Yeah,
But I'm
I had
pretty
some
sure,
coaches like that, but it was probably more like 14, 15, 16, like right before high school. I think is when I had coaches like that. And I'm sure it just gets more expensive for the parents because they're paying a coach now too.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm not sure how they do it with this organization that we're in for hockey. We're just getting started, so I'm not looking that far ahead yet.
Oh yeah, hockey, man.
It's expensive.
Yep, buckle up, and hope they don't play goalie.
Oh God, I will not allow the goalie situation.
Speaking of playing goalie, we need to talk about closing down our lawn season. Seamless transition.
I was gonna say, I thought this was turning into a sexual innuendo all of a sudden or something.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about playing goalie in the winter, I mean, we can, it's winter, it's hockey, end of lawn season, like connect the dots.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of vomit.
Speaking of vomit, this is like one of those topics that like I never like talking about for two reasons. It sucks because like our season winds down and like we love our season. This is why we got into it. We like being out in the lawn. We like talking to people. We like, teaching you how to do all of these things and just talking about our experiences. But the other hard part from our perspective is that this isn't like a black and white answer for everybody. And similar to in the spring, like when can we get our first mowing? When can we start fertilizing? When can we start planting grass seed? When can we start doing all of the things? It's almost just pressing the opposite button, right? Like we're saying the same thing but in reverse, and it is really going to depend on a lot of local things that happen. So we're going to talk about all of those. So the things that we talk about are going to happen at different times for everybody, right? The one thing that I always want to reiterate when we're talking about when to do something or when we're giving advice onto any of that is you got to know the zone you're in. And this might sound like super elementary stuff, but every year there is someone from Texas who is following us and listening to us who thinks that they're in the cool season zone and they are not. And that's fine if that's you. But we have three primary zones. We have the cool season zone, which is all of us in the northern states and basically like anything with elevation. So like Utah and Denver and like parts of Arizona, right? Like that kind of stuff. Where you're going to have cool season grasses, your Kentucky bluegrass, perennial ryegrass, fine fescue, turf type, tall fescue. And as I've learned, creeping bentgrass for a lot of people, including myself.
Whether you want it or not.
On the that's the northern states. Go all the way to the south, kind of that southeast Gulf side. You got the warm season, which you're going to have your St. Augustine, your Bermuda, Centipede, Zoysia, etc. Right, and then you're going to have those are the two bread slices of the sandwich. Then you're going to have all of the contents of the sandwich in the middle, called the transition zone, where you, based upon your micro zone that you're in, it is really going to be up to you on what grass, warm or cool season grass, that you would like to plant, and for those reasons that you have in kind of those local climates, subclimates. Depending on the grass type that you have, they will react differently to what we're about to tell you in this episode. So primarily, we're going to talk about the cool season zone, because in the warm season zone, you're going to be following relatively a completely different schedule. You might be doing things like pre-emergence. You might be doing things like planting cool season grass types in your lawn to have a green lawn all season long. Like it's just very different. And your stuff is going to start dying off a little bit sooner, depending on what you're looking at, what grass type that you have, and what your weather patterns are. So I always like to kind of start there, of just understanding where we're at. Obviously, us in the very north, Minnesota, Maine, kind of the higher North Dakota, like all of those, we're going to get out of the season a lot faster than maybe a Missouri or a Virginia or something like that, right? So that's just stuff you have to kind of understand. It's not all going to happen at once, but what we're about to tell you is, kind of going to help you out understand when to close down your season and what to look for. So what do you got from there, Andrew?
Yeah, and you're going to see people that are in the cool season zone continuing to mow and do things like on social media. Like if you follow a bunch of crazy people like ourselves, like for example, Vince is in Pennsylvania and he's going to be going until November, like Thanksgiving, and we're
He
going to
might mow on Christmas.
He might mow on Christmas. You never know. Like sometimes we're still going on Thanksgiving. You just never know. But usually,
Never.
It doesn't take much. But like you go a couple states below wherever you are, and they're probably going to be, a 2 weeks to 4 weeks behind you. So don't be too jealous. It's hard for Chris and I because Vince is always starting the season before us and ending the season after us, and so we get a little bit of jealousy because he's got green grass he's striping, and ours is just coming out of dormancy and stuff like that. But let's start with the cool season grasses, which I know a lot of you that listen to our podcast have. That's going to be your Kentucky bluegrasses and your rye grasses and your fescues. That grass we're talking about when it starts to check out. When is it time to shutter D? When's it time to shut her down? For cool season grasses, you're looking when soil temps are probably hitting 50 degrees or below pretty consistently. You're going to start to go dormant. Usually this time of year, October, early October, you're seeing the grass really slow down its growth, and you can go further without mowing or longer without mowing. You might notice that it doesn't need as much water just because of the cooler temperatures and whatnot. So just be aware that 50 degrees and below consistently is probably when you're going to start to, think about winterizing your equipment and stuff like that. You're looking at late October, early November for most people, but like we just said, where Chris is, that might be Halloween. Where I'm at in Michigan, that might be mid-November. It's different for everybody. So it's what you're looking for is when the grass is no longer really growing. That is when your season is done, or when you're having consistent frosts and stuff like that. When it comes to watering, you can really dial back your watering as the grass is slowing and the cool temperatures. You just take a look at your grass and just look at it and say, this doesn't need water, because it's probably not. You're probably getting a decent amount of rain this time of year, and the cooler temps are just not going to dry it out and make it look as toasty as it would in the summer. What else we got here?
Let's circle back one second, because this is like a very, again, elementary thing that everyone forgets to like pay attention to. And like the people that have been listening to this understand the difference of these, but if you're just getting into it, like, you'll be surprised at how many people screw this up. When he says 50 degrees, I know you've said soil temps, but we're talking not the air temperature, the temperature in the soil. Mm-hmm. And it's generally speaking similar to the spring, your trending 5-day soil temperature on average, right? And it's not as important right now as it is in the spring when we're talking about things like pre-emergent and like getting it into a window of applying a product in order for it to be like maximum efficacy and like all of those different things. We're talking about winding down our season. But when the soil temperatures are averaging right around that 50 degree mark, the thing that is really important is the reason of why it goes into dormancy to begin with, right? It's starting to play defense. And it also means that the plant is less willing, we talked about this in our previous episodes, is less willing and not necessarily willing, physically unable to uptake any nutrients or anything. Right. Thus, why it's going into defense. So on that note,
fertilizer, yeah.
Not putting down a fertilizer at this time is the smart thing to do. If you do put down a fertilizer or anything like that, there are different ones that you can put down that would help, like soil and things of that nature. But like the plant, if you're trying to get your lawn green because it's trying to go dormant and it's turning brown, not going to work.
Right. And when it comes to fertilizer, like fall is a great time. for cool season lawns, right? To fertilize. But as you get longer and deeper into the season, you're getting to the point where you're like, like I've been feeding it. It's really not growing. The top growth isn't quite there. Like you get 2 to 3 weeks before the ground freezes, and that should be your last application at the very latest, because like we just talked about, that grass is not really willing in these cold temperatures to uptake that nutrients. The last thing you want is to put down fertilizer on your lawn and have it sit there on frozen ground and just get leached into the soil, run off into whatever. Your
waterways.
Yeah, your waterways. You're doing bad things for the environment. One, you're wasting your money. Two. And so be very conscious of when you are fertilizing. A lot of people, I think, want to make their season last as long as they can. And fertilizer is not going to do that. Like you can't make it last longer. Your season is done when it's done. Just succumb to it and you're going to be okay. Like it will green up in the spring, just like the rest of us. Yeah. We will be depressed together in the winter. So don't be that guy that's throwing down fertilizer and thinking that it's helping, when the ground is near frozen, because you're just wasting your money and you're just doing bad things for the environment. Like I think lawn care gets a bad rap already for, the environment and chemicals and pesticides and herbicide, all that stuff. So be smart, guys. Be smart.
Yeah, I mean, the frost thing too, right? So frosts are generally a good indicator that your season is coming up to an end. If you don't know what your average frost date is, or more so just curious on it, we have all of that in our free guide, What Grass is Best for Me. Has nothing really to do with the frost, but it's in there to talk about grass seed and stuff like that, and kind of the key dates to watch out for. But based upon your USDA growing zone, like when is your average first frost date? We are well beyond that where I'm at the time of this recording, and I think we've had one, and like it's supposed to be 72 tomorrow. Right.
Air temperature. I don't think we've had one here yet. And I think it was calculated right about today to be the first. And I don't see that happening. It was like 55 degrees yesterday morning when I woke up and went to work. And then got in the 70s.
This year's been unseasonally warm. And I mean, our first average frost date, I mean, if you think you want to get technical with it, I think is like middle of September to like first week of October. It's the 15th of October at the time of us recording this, and we haven't even hit it. And honestly, I don't even know if we're going to in the next week even, which is like unheard of for up here in Halloween. So like, and I know it's like an El Nino to El Nina transition. So like, I don't know statistically like what happens with that, but like,
it sounds like a horoscope.
Whatever. Weird things are changing. I'm just expecting to get like 55,000 inches of snow and it'd be cold as shit.
So that's just it. Week. If you're from the Midwest, I think this probably happens anywhere in the cool season zone, but like sometimes you just don't really have much of a fall. It just like the leaves are not falling yet, and all of a sudden the snow is here and it's here to stay. And now you're like, well, I got to wait for a thaw to get the snow off the ground so I can pick up the leaves. Because you don't want those sitting there. Like that's the worst. Like you have those trees. I have a lot of oak trees in my back, and those seem to hang on to the last freaking minute. Drives me nuts. Because I'm always waiting until like mid-December. I'm out there on a thaw where I can see the grass, and I'm picking up leaves. So
you don't like the weather? Wait 5 minutes. Typically how it works.
Yep.
Because it'll be different. But yeah, totally, dude. Like
you'll wake up one morning and it'll be winter. It will.
But with frost, so when it does come. That's what she said. Don't step on it when you still have a frost layer on your grass. You will crack the grass blade. Your grass blade is effectively frozen, but it's still living and still alive. And if you step on that, it will crack it and you will have turf burn or frost burn, excuse me. And that is a thing. That is real. People don't know about it, but a lot of UPS drivers and FedEx drivers definitely don't know about that because they don't give a fuck about your lawn. They just walk right through it. With or without frost, and you will have UPS footprints all through it. But yeah, that's why like golf courses have frost delays and stuff like that this time of year, and like all those different things. But when you consistently have frost in the morning, you wake up and you got like frost on your grass, on the roof as the sun begins to rise. It's a good general like indicator that your season is like probably 2 weeks away from being over.
Time to put the stable in the mower.
Yeah, dude. And it's all good. You've earned it. Especially those of you who like busted your tail on a renovation this year, right? So that's the cool season zone, which is a heck of a lot easier to go through than like transition zones and all of those different things. But when you have like Kentucky bluegrass will want to go dormant really quick. Perennial ryegrass, it's very resilient. Fine fescues, seemingly, this is just my experience with them, generally stay green longer. I've noticed, and really just kind of stay a light green throughout the whole year. They're never really like brown
right?
like the other ones. But then you get into like the transition zone grasses where like turf type tall fescue and Bermuda are like predominant. It gets a little bit tricky because Bermuda will go dormant a heck of a lot at a very different time than maybe a tall fescue. And in the transition zone, like this is heavily dependent on if you're in the north or the south or anywhere in between, but like your local subclimates, right?
And what grass you have, yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like an expert in Bermuda because I'm not. That's TJ, the lawn.dad. But for warm season grasses, I mean, you might be going kind of that same time. I mean, you might be going into that same time frame, but like you're going to start seeing things die off. I mean, based upon what TJ has said from us, I mean, things are starting to kind of taper down as well over there because we were just down there, right, in South Carolina, and like obviously still very green, but you could tell like it is not like July green.
Yeah,
like
it was starting to check out a little bit.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I mean, I think when you're talking about these, you know, kind of wanting to go play defense, I think the end of the game is like you said it earlier. Don't like force your season to go longer than it needs to be. Like stop forcing top growth. It is not wanting top growth with fertilizer. So
yeah, and that's usually about this time, mid-October, late October, that Bermuda is starting to brown up a little bit and go dormant. That's when it's time to stop the fertilization, stop the watering. You still want to make sure it gets water when it's dormant, a little bit here and there. But
yeah, but that's what the snowpack is for.
Yeah, but they don't always get snow down
getting
there in the
that.
transition
they're
zone,
not
right?
getting
So, yeah, but down there in the transition zone, you're getting frosts. So
Yeah, that's true.
those will be happening. So just be smart. Don't, like you said, know when your season's over. And if you really don't want it to be over and you have Bermuda in the transition zone, then you can overseed with rye and then you can keep going. But that's a whole nother story.
Bucket of worms. I do want to talk about, so like before we get like into the meat and potatoes of what's happening after this, which is the mow bag. Another common question is like, okay, when do we know it's coming to an end? But the real question is like, when do I stop mowing? And like, what do I do with all these fall leaves? I don't want to get like super into that, but like, end of the day, grass clippings and fall leaves, mulch them when possible, because that is free nutrients. When, if they're chopped up in a small enough size, will break down into your soil and provide beneficial nutrients to your soil.
Right.
End of the day, that's just as general as it gets. That is good. When you leave your grass, just like before when we're talking about grass clippings, when you leave your grass too tall and you chop it down and the grass clippings are too long, it's not going to be as beneficial as if they're, you know, you're following the 1/3 rule, you're mulching them in, all of those things. There is too much of a good thing with fall leaves as well. If you have like a 3 to 4 inch layer, Andrew, when all of your oak trees decide to just like spew themselves of all of the leaves, you're probably not mulching all those in.
No.
Right. Nor is that going to be beneficial if you do.
That's when you swear at your bagging system that keeps falling off.
Yeah. That. But in terms of like when to stop mowing, that 50-degree mark in the soil, your grass will, I mean, if you're listening to this, you have already noticed your grass slowed down. But how tall to leave it, before, you wrap up and put the mower away, put it in the storage unit, wherever you shed or whatever you do. Generally speaking, cool season grasses, I like that 2-inch mark.
Yep.
That's just kind of a sweet spot for me.
2 to 2.5 was where
2
I
to 2.5 for most. Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. One, you don't get the grass laying over. It stands up, fairly straight all season, off season, I should say. But
Category
the other thing,
expert in 2.5 inches.
All right. 4 in the summer. But
Oh yeah.
but the other reason is leaves are a lot easier to remove from a 2-inch cut than it is a longer cut. You're going to get leaves blowing right across into your neighbor's yards. You don't have to worry about them. But it's also going to be a lot easier just to do your raking, do your leaf blowing, all that kind of stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then if you don't pick up your leaves and you leave your grass long and it snows and you have an unfortunate chain of events where it happens to rain and then freeze and then snow, God dang, is your life going to suck in the spring with snow mold?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking from experience,
which it might anyways, regardless of what
like, and then all of that is out of your control. But what is absolutely in your control is the cultural practices of taking your lawn short enough to where it needs to be and picking up your damn leaves.
Chris, while we're talking about this height of cut to leave the lawn at, to tuck it away, I want to pick your brain just because I know you're an expert in 2 inches.
Tucking it away.
Yeah, Chris Tuckett. But this is my first year real mowing with cool season grass. What should I do? Should I let mine get a little shaggier before winter, or should I leave it at the 3/4 of an inch that I consistently mow it at? Like, I'm at a 1/2 inch right now. I'm like the lowest I've ever been. But that's gonna, not stay there. I'm not gonna keep it there for winter. But what should I be doing? Like, what have you done in the past?
For the grass types that you have in your lawn, which are Kentucky bluegrass and perennial ryegrass, it will not matter that much.
Okay.
Now, I always turn to what the USGA says, which is the U.S. Golf Association. And they recommend raising the height of cut to provide a little bit more of a thermal layer.
Ooh. Okay.
I think is what it is. And I think how it broke it down, and I'm totally winging this. So like,
give it that North Face effect.
Freaking at me if I'm completely butchering this. The sun will hit the leaf blade, and in theory, more of a leaf blade will absorb more heat, absorb more energy than a shorter one. There's more leaf blade to absorb heat, and apparently that's a good thing. So I have gone off of that, and like, your grass will grow after your last cut a little bit, inevitably. But you said you're cutting it at what?
I'm at like a 1/2 inch right now, but I remember about 3/4 of an inch is where
Damn, that's low, dude.
I'm
1/2 inch
trying to do big things
on your green. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I've been lowering it down.
That's
and
great,
Pythium's
dude.
been destroying me, so I'm just like, why not?
Yeah, it's like the clap. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But
yeah, but I don't think
I'm not
going to. I mean, I think I was trying to see how good a golf ball can roll on it, and now that I know, I'm just like, all right, we're going to bring it back up to 3/4 of an inch. But
so the one thing that you're going to have to worry about more than what height of cut you're going to be at is the worm castings that are.
They've already started. I got to spray some
rampant.
Clearys for sure.
So I have not done that in the fall. So I always try to take mine up to probably like 1.5 inches and just consistently. I actually take the Cub tractor and just knock out the front with it. No,
I might just send my robot out there.
I don't even real mow anymore in the fall.
Yeah.
That's just me though. So that's a pure laziness thing.
No.
So if you are real mowing and like want to actually have this precise, like, I don't think it's going to matter too much. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. If you're at a 1/2 inch.
Yeah. I'll probably bring it up to a full inch by the end of the season here.
But honestly, I think you can keep it the same too. I don't think it honestly has any lick of difference.
Okay.
Because the main thing of wanting to bring it down for an average homeowner is to avoid the whole concept of the matting of the snowpack.
And you're not going to have that below 1.5 inches, regardless.
No.
Yep. That's all I needed to know. I mean, I figured I was going to bring it up to 1 inch, 1.5 inches probably anyways. So it's whatever. I mean, I was just there a month ago. I let it get a little shaggy. I was actually out there mowing it with my Ryobi bush mower. I even tried the robot on it and cut it. I think I was at 2
How
inches.
long does that thing cut?
It depends on the robot. The Yarbo goes down to...
Of course you have more than one.
2. I got 4 of those things now.
4?
Yeah.
The fuck do you need 4 robots?
I don't. That's why I gave one to my dad, and the one's been in my basement literally all year because it was from last year. But the Yarbo, I think, can mow down to 2 inches. The one that I have in my backyard can go down to 0.8.
Which one is that?
The Sunseeker X7. That's my newest
0.8?
Can go between 0.8 inches and 4 inches is what that thing can mow. I just made a video about it. That's why I know.
Damn, that's low.
Yeah. So
the Yarbo, that
No.
tank can only mow as low as 2 inches?
I think 2. Maybe it was 1.8. But it was
that's
right around there.
disappointing.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe I bring that other thing out and map out my chipping green area and see how well that thing cuts at 0.8.
You should just have one robot dedicated to your collar.
My collar?
Just the collar. Like it's a racetrack, and then it gets off.
Like the 0.8. Put the 0.8
Just
out there for the
0.8.
collar, and then...
You gotta do that.
I got a collar mower.
You got a collar mower. It's
It takes
the
like
Sunseeker.
3 minutes for it to make a lap, and then it just goes back and charges.
So you got to
again.
double cut it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't cut it the same. You got to cut it like 9 to 3, then like 2 to...
Do you know how hard that would be to map a collar?
7,
because like you have
8,
to like
8.
map the outside of the collar, and then
I don't know how any of that shit works.
And then you have to map the inside, like where the green part is, as a no-go zone. So like only knows it as a little strip. That'd be tricky.
For those of you who don't know what a collar is, we're talking about Andrew's chipping / putting green, and there's generally 3
Like the fringe
layers.
on a green. Like the
Yes,
fringe.
you've got the putting surface, and then you have the fairway / rough, and then there's like a collar layer in between there. Why? I don't know.
It's a
but
transition.
That's there. Just a
Because
transition.
if you miss the green, you don't get punished that hard for the first 2 feet.
Is that like a participation collar? It's like the participation medal that we get at the end of tournaments and stuff.
It's,
but no,
it's
just,
like some people, they're like, yeah, I'm going to call that a green in regulation. We're like, no, dude,
Yeah.
just because you can putt it doesn't mean
No.
it's a green in regulation.
you got the C in regulation.
That's right. Got the color greens. Anyways, we got to talk about
Rose-colored
warm
greens.
season, which we kind of already did.
Warm season is just a different animal. You guys are an entirely different thing. It's totally different.
But as we talked about, like as you get below 70 degrees, the color starts to fade. You want to cut back on the fertilization, the nitrogen, because you get frost, maybe down in the south too. So it's just you experience an off season. You're not going to be, if it's dormant, don't fertilize it. We say that in the heat of the summer here. If it's dormant, don't fertilize it.
Don't water it either.
Yeah, well, you can a little, but not much. Well, you shouldn't have to. You're going to get rain. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I was about to say, there's no, yeah.
Yeah, no, you turn off those irrigation systems, which everybody in the north, remember to blow out your irrigation systems.
Oh, dude, I still got to do that.
I'm going to call my guy tomorrow. I have a guy for that. I don't do it myself because like
Fuck, yeah. Oh,
you
God,
need a big
hire
air pump. This guy's over for like 10 minutes and we talk for a half hour and then we blow
So
out the
that's like at
irrigation.
least 2 beers worth.
Yeah.
So he's over there for at least 2 beers. That's like a ritual, dude. You gotta like your guy comes over and you crack a beer or 3 and you watch air push water out of your sprinkler heads.
Right. And with the smart irrigation controls like I have, like I just walk around. We walk around in my yard.
Yeah.
And I just like push zone 1 on my phone. And we walk to that and we talk for a few minutes. And he's like, all right, go to the next one. And I click my phone. We walk to the next one. We watch that. Yeah. It's maybe 1 beer, event, but we turn it into 2.
Dude. At least 2 tree.
2 tree.
2 trees.
6, 7, as the kids say.
2 trees. Dude, some guy. No, I'm not even gonna get into that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. But in terms of like the sprinkler stuff, you can't water frozen soil. Plant won't absorb anything. So no need to do that. Same thing with fertilizer. No need to do that. I mean, there are some. I'm probably going to get called out. Someone's probably shouting in their car or somewhere. You can do all of the things with the organics and all of these ticka thingamajigs and all of that stuff, but it doesn't work that way either. Not going to get into that on that show. You can mow right up until it snows. Probably not.
See, the way I get away with mowing later in the season is they're strictly for leaf pickup, but you're still mowing.
Yeah,
You know?
You're not. It's like a charity mow, right?
Yeah, it's a charity mow,
In
but just don't do it
reverse.
on frozen. Like, don't do it while it's frost. Like, just like we
Yeah,
talked
you
about. You don't want to walk on it. You definitely don't want to mow on it. So just be smart about it. Okay.
Yeah, it's easier than we're making it seem. I mean, it's we're trying to milk a podcast episode out of this thing, and it's not like it's really god dang easy. Just like if your grass is growing, keep mowing, keep watering. If your shit's cold and it hurts your hand after 5 minutes since it's outside, you're probably ready to wrap her up.
Right. It's like a bear. Like you already ate all the food it needs. And it's ready to sleep, dude. Just let it go into its cave and freaking sleep. And maybe you should too. It's been a long season.
Yeah, whatever analogy that was. I don't know if that even made sense. I listened to half of it, but I was like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. This whiskey's hitting.
You know what time it is?
The Mo bag is
The Mo bag
Vince would
mail
say.
time thing.
Yeah, that one.
Should we just hit it?
Send it.
Let's hit it.
It's time for the Mo Time mailbag.
Join us as we reach deep into the mailbag and answer your questions. If you would like to have a question answered on the Lawn Feed podcast, head to thelawnfeed.com and submit a question.
Mailbag, mailbag. Time for the Mo Time mailbag.
Woo! Fun fact, that won a Grammy.
It
That
did.
song.
It won a regional Midwest Grammy.
Taylor Swift was not happy. She's like, my new album slaps. That was AI. Pretty sure that was AI. And I'm just like, Taylor, that was totally the Lawn Feed. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, dude.
But guys, we got a lot of people asking questions about compacted soil and clay.
Yeah, so let's first just give a couple shout outs here. So we got
sure.
Anthony Y from Shamong, New York. Shamong, New York.
We're going to figure
Shamrock,
out where the
New
hell
York.
that is.
I'm-
Shamong.
No clue where that is. I'm guessing upstate. I'm guessing it's like suburb of Buffalo. And
That
they just
may-
get piss pounded with snow.
That
That's
may
my
be
guess.
New Jersey, actually. That may be just a typo. That might be New Jersey.
God, who's tight? Is this like an Evansville, Indiana, Evansville, Illinois situation?
Let me see. Oh, that guy's from Knoxville, Tennessee. That's not the one. What's the name
We
of this
have
person?
Cy from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Is this Anthony?
Nope. Yes.
Yeah, it's New
Anthony.
Jersey. Yours truly put a Y instead of a J. So it's
So
New Jersey.
not by, contrary to popular belief, not by Buffalo. My new guess is somewhere around Newark.
It's literally on the. Let me see. Where does New Jersey start? It is southeast of Philly. Let's just put it that way.
So not Newark. My apologies.
No.
Anthony's probably like, fuck that guy. And then there's Corey from Appleton, Wisconsin, our neck of the woods. Great airport.
But they're all
All
asking
of
similar
which-
questions.
All of which have to do with soil amendments, amending clay soil, compacted soil. So we're just gonna roll through them. I live in South. So this is Anthony. I'm gonna read all three of
See,
these.
it says right there, I live in South Jersey. It's the first thing he freaking says, and I put New York.
So that's not by Philly.
South Jersey.
South Jersey? Hang on. We're
Jersey's
gonna
not
go.
that big. Jersey's
Again.
not that big.
It's bigger than you think. That's what she said.
I guess it goes up by New York.
North Jersey is by all the cities, I thought.
It's above Atlantic City, but below Trenton. It's
I
like,
live in South Jersey, specifically in Shamong, New Jersey. We're butchering that 100%. In the Pine Barrens. That's probably a good clue.
I'm gonna do some Google searches after this.
My wife and I purchased our first property in January. I started working on the lawn this spring just to get familiar with what soil and grass I was working with. It is a local blend of fescue, perennial rye, and KBG, Kentucky bluegrass. The lawn is overall in good shape, but not too many weeds. Overall looks pretty good. This fall I aerated and overseeded and found a problem with the section of my lawn that does not drain at all due to the soil being very compacted. Soil here varies from clay to sand in different areas, also very common across the country. I have irrigation that I set for a schedule for new seed. Where is it? I noticed the one clay-ish area that does not drain. I have standing water in areas and noticed some aeration holes filled with water. Damn. And not draining at all. I tried adjusting the watering schedule with all of that adjusted sprinkler heads and found that one section, the clay section, does not drain due to the one type of soil had gotten better. This and that compacted soil. Corey from Appleton. Hi guys, love the show. My section of Wisconsin, Drunken Scotty Land has heavy clay soil, and I was hoping for some info on how to break it down to be a better soil for Kentucky bluegrass and perennial ryegrass. And then Cy, I think it's Cy, S-Y. Any other takers?
Nailed it.
It's got to be Cy, right? From Knoxville says, hey guys, love listening to you guys on the way to work. Scrolled through all of the past episodes and couldn't find anything where you guys do a deep dive on soil amendments. Feel like there are so many on the market, and finding out which one is most beneficial for your lawn is confusing. I would agree. Any chance you guys can touch on this and why you would choose one versus the other during certain times? End of the day, these are all about compacted soil. They're all about soil amendments. These are all just trying to get your soil in better condition than it currently is based upon your area. Andrew, I'm going to shut up and you can cover all three of these.
Yeah, if you got 10 seconds to listen, I got you. If Vince was here, he'd probably talk for 20 minutes about this. But to answer Cy's question, I think a soil amendment episode would be good. I think that is something we should take a deep dive into, and maybe we should find an expert to come on and talk about, maybe in the off season.
Like a soil scientist.
Indubitably. But compacted soil. So the first two questions were all about clay. Talking to a guy that lives 5 minutes from Lake Michigan and everything's sand here, I never had to deal with it. But
really, you don't have any clay over there?
Well, I'm sure there is, but not near me. Like I'm so close to Lake Michigan that everything's practically sand dune near me.
Sure.
But when it comes to clay, like they're talking about, the water just won't drain in, even if you poke holes in it. Basically, all you can do is to add stuff to your soil, like a soil amendment, right? So you want to add organic matter, whether that's compost or manure. But a lot of people say you should add like 4 to 6 inches, and that's a bit drastic. Like if you're doing a new lawn, sure, I can see maybe doing that, but like that's a lot to raise. But if you do like a core aeration and then sprinkle in, do a heavy top dressing of manure or compost, that will help get that stuff down into the soil. And it's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight, but you can get that clay to be a little, drain a little bit better and amend it a little bit. And then also gypsum. I believe like the way that works is it, like on a scientific level, it helps like the particles separate a little bit and make room for water to penetrate into there. But yeah, this is a conversation I think we should. It's just very weird that like all of the questions are all about clay soil right now.
I mean, it makes sense because this is like core aeration time, right?
It is. Yeah. And so I think people are maybe watering their lawns a lot, doing renovations and realizing that they have a lot of standing water in areas, just like Anthony said. But organic matter, it will take time, but over time it will help amend that clay soil and help with drainage and everything. Clay soil is not a bad thing. for grass. It's just a bad thing for drainage. So, but yeah,
The other-
I think that is something we should definitely look into.
Totally. And we'll get someone from some university on. I don't think that that's going to be an issue to come in and talk about this at at like a more detailed, granular level. There is one product, and and again, I hate recommending products because every lawn's different. Up here, predominantly, like we have a ton of clay and like thick clay. So like I feel these because this is what I'm dealing with. There's a product called C20 that is really, really good. And basically it's like, I don't know the science behind it because again, I'm not a soil scientist. I just know that you put it down and it works.
Shit works, dog.
You know what I mean? I'm not out here to get like
C20 is an
roasted or
aircraft. I just Googled it.
Yeah, it is an aircraft. I'm talking about the stuff you put in your
Twin
lawn.
City Seed sells it.
They do actually. It is something that you would apply in like the spring and in the fall, and it basically just goes to work while you're sleeping. It's not gonna like replicate core aeration, but it'll certainly help. And if you don't have that, when in doubt, just aerate the piss out of your lawn.
And then top dress it.
And then top dress it. And over time, it will get better. So, yeah, that's that. Anything else to add before?
No, but I learned something. C20. It's an aircraft and a soil amendment.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap, go check out thelawnfeed.com. Check out some amazing lawn gear to elevate your lawn, swag, shirts, whatever. Go check out anything for October, as 100% goes to metastatic breast cancer and its research through the end of October. If you're on the lawn feed, you can do Brad 15 at checkout for 15% off your order. And on behalf of the Lawn Feed crew, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Lawn Feed podcast. Good luck with this week's adventure in parenthood. Stay safe out there, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
See you guys.